Stampers, Kim from stampingimperfection.com. I'm so happy you're here today. I have a new project I want to share with you, and that is a traveler's notebook. Last year, I purchased this around this time of year. I purchased this cover, this traveler's notebook cover, and this is a Webster's Pages cover, and it is I think it's a standard wide size. It came with that smaller insert to go with it, and I purchased that other piece separately. This size here is a standard wide insert, and this is one I created a couple of weeks ago. I had gotten some really beautiful fall paper from Simple Stories. I think it's called Fall Splendor, and I love it. I love this paper. I created interactive pages, I created pockets, I created a whole journal from that, and I've got this other one that I use. This is my inspiration journal, so I've got ideas. I do a lot of brainstorming. I just put new inserts in with that. But this is the perfect time of year to buy these covers and these inserts. So I went ahead and I measured my journal, each of the journals, because the floral one is standard size and the other one is standard wide. And the standard wide is the size of the cover I have that these are going to go into. So I'm writing down my measurements, and I've got a package of very old Stampin' Up! Paper. And you can see these journals I actually got from Stampin' Up! I have a drawer full of these because when Stampin' Up! Put these on clearance, like, I don't even know, 6 or 7 years ago, it's a ridiculous amount of time. I bought a bunch of them on clearance for next to nothing. So I was going to make Christmas presents out of them that year, but I got too busy and didn't get it done. So they sat in the drawer. Now I have time because I'm retired now. I have time to use them. Along with this beautiful paper, I have had this gorgeous paper in my stash, and I've been dying to use this, but I was waiting for the perfect project. So I'm going to cut this down, and I'm going to cut this so that I get papers to put in the I'm going to make 2 journals out of this. I'm going to put some of these papers in that that wide insert and some in the regular size insert, and I'll be using both of them. So I want to use these papers up. My goal is to use up the stuff in my stash that I've been saving or hoarding for years and use it in projects that I love. And this is probably one of the projects that I've most enjoyed creating over the last few months. Now, I cut that whole package, and then I took the pieces that I had left over and I cut them down into basically cut them in half so I can use them for journaling, or I can use them for photo mats, or I can use them for pockets or inserts for pockets. Like, I've got a lot of different sizes here, and I have a lot of papers, and the colors are gorgeous. They're going to go with a lot of different things. So I'm just kind of sorting them, and then I'm going to get to work making this journal. So you can see I've got all different kinds. Now, even those small ones to the right there, that pile of small strips, those make great pennants. If you cut them into banners or pennants, then you've got a little tab for the top, and you can see I have the 2 different sizes all ready to go. Now, this isn't going to be enough. That one package of paper only had 12 sheets in it, so it isn't going to be enough. So I ended up pulling out a second set of papers to finish off both of the journals, but it worked out beautifully, and they're different. They're all different colors, and it doesn't matter. I'm using the journal. I'm creating the journal. It's going to work out perfectly. Now, I pulled out my old corner punch, and that corner punch is so old. It's from Creative Memories, which I did long before I did Stampin' Up. And I rounded the corners, on whatever outside edge. I rounded the top and bottom corners of the outside edge. And I'm going to use some adhesive. I have this drawer full of fast fuse adhesive, which Stampin' Up! Carried for a while, and I hated it. So I never used it. And I want it out of that drawer because I want to use that drawer for stuff that I'm actually using. and I don't want to waste my money, so I'm using up all this stuff. So I'm creating projects that are actually going to be useful. So I cut the pages a little bit too short for some reason. I don't know why. I wasn't paying enough attention, but it's going to work out okay because I've got a ton of washi tape also sitting around not being used. So I'm going to pull out my washi tape and I'm going to put some washi tape on the bottom of each page, and I'm going to stack a couple different ones. And these colors go just fine with this. I doubt they coordinated with this paper to begin with, but they're coordinating it. I can't speak. I'm so sorry. They're coordinating with it now in my journal. There, I got it out. And I'm going to put some down the seam. Now on that fall album, instead of doing this washi tape thing, I was very careful to get my adhesive right on the edges of those papers. And then I took a piece of sandpaper and I sanded lightly all around. It was like fine grit sandpaper. I sanded all around the edges of that fall journal I made. And that journal is waiting for fall to get here because that's going to be my fall gratitude journal. I've always wanted to make one, and I was excited to find this stack of these journals in one of my drawers when I was cleaning my craft room, because this is exactly what I wanted to do with them. And I've got a ton of stamp sets and dies that I can use in journals to create journaling boxes and tabs and tags, you name it. So I'll pull all that stuff out too. And I got a lot of stamps that I'm going to use too, so you'll see some of those here. So here, this again, the Traveler's Notebook has the elastic insert, so just so you can see, once I finish that, I just open to the center and slide it under there. That plastic thing, I have a ruler in there, and that I ordered separately. It was only a couple of dollars, but I got all of these, the blue ones, from Scrapbookcom, and this is a perfect, and that extra wide fits in there, which I love. But I got all of these from Scrapbookcom, and this is a perfect time of year to do that because they're all on sale now, because they're starting to come out with the newer ones. Everybody's starting to think about their calendars and journals and stuff for 2021. So you can see here, I pulled out all the stuff sitting on my shelf. A little bit of this is new. Some of that ephemera is new because I don't have a lot of ephemera. And here are some of the things I created. And this also is giving me the chance to use my photo printers in a different way. I have this little Canon Ivy, which I got on Black Friday, and I've been using that almost exclusively. First of all, it travels beautifully, and it makes these 2x3 inch photos, and you know what? Those are okay photos. That's me and my husband on the beach. We take picnics in the middle of the day now. We're retired. It's a wonderful. These are from my old Canon selfie. My Canon selfie is so old. That's my husband with his YouTube video, or YouTube award. He got 100,000 subscribers. But I had no idea what I could do with that Canon selfie until this week. It turns out I can make those collage pictures and choose like 5 or 6 different pictures, and it prints them different sizes, and I'm loving it. So I have some apps that I got. Pick Tap Go is one, Pick Frame is another one, and here are some stamp sets like that Altenew one. I really like that one. I will put the name on the screen because I can't remember. And here I'm showing you my Canva journal. I intended to make beautiful pages when I bought that Canva journal, but it has turned out, I filled like 5 or 6 of them, and I mostly do bullet journaling, and it's just lists and things like that, to-do lists. But I had purchased this Altenew stamp set a long time ago to make elements for journals, and I didn't have time. When I was working, I just didn't have time. So I have these new Catherine Pooler tags, and I have the new Altenew tag set. Like the Altenew tag set has a ton. You can see all the tags you get in there. Terrific tags. So that's a pricey one. The Catherine Pooler has 4 different tag sizes. It's perfect. You know I'm going to use those for Christmas. Now these are from Elizabeth Crafts, and I do have a planner that I use for my calendar and all that kind of stuff with, it's got, the 3 rings or 6 rings, I guess. And I do use that. It sits on my desk. All my appointments go in there. All the stuff that I have to be able to find, the prescriptions and all that kind of stuff, all goes in that planner. But these Elizabeth Craft Planner Essential Kits, she comes out with a new one every month, and they're amazing. I have made some nice things for that. Simon Says Stamps did a collaboration with CZ Designs and created a perfect planner stamp set. So I've also got this. This is my favorite. This is called Tabbed. It's from Altenew. It's got this little die set, and you can make single ones, which is what I did, or you can make the double ones, which fold over your page, and then they have a ton of stamps that work perfectly for a journal or planner. Then Catherine Pooler also has a series. She's got a Canvo Club where you get a stamp set and a stencil every month to use in your journal. It's amazing. So I've got a little tin there that I'm keeping all that stuff in. I made a whole bunch of tags. I stamped up a whole bunch of things and punched them out. And now I'm just going to start decorating. And I'm going to start with, I'm just going to include a little calendar in this journal. This is just going to be basically my summer journal. And my plan for this one is to use it for memory keeping mostly. A little bit of journaling and a little bit of memory keeping, a lot of memory keeping actually, because now I've got apps on my phone that work with that Canon selfie. And that Canon selfie is, I've had that since my kids were in high school. I have only ever printed 4x6 pictures on it. Now that I've discovered I can do so much more just by putting an app on my phone, I've got pictures of all different sizes in this, and it makes it a much more interesting story when you're reading through it or looking through the album. So I highly recommend it. And if those apps work with my very old, because I said my kids were in high school, my daughter has a PhD and she's doing her postdoc right now. So that's how long ago, that's at least 10 years ago that she graduated from high school, and crazy. So I also pulled out a whole bunch of the Project Life cards. This stamp set is from Visible Image. I love their stamp sets for journaling and for art journals and things like this. I stamp them randomly in my Canvo journal, and my word of the year was journey, or is journey. So Life is a Journey seemed like a perfect stamp to go on the inside cover or the first page of this journal. So I love these. Visible Image. I just got another Visible Image. In fact, that's one of the things I ordered to get that free. I just got a free, what is this called? Scoreboard. We Are Memory Keeper scoreboard from Scrapbookcom, and a free stamp set for placing a small order. And I got a new Visible Image stamp set for my journals because I love it. And it's going to work for my mixed media backgrounds, because I'm working on a mixed media background book, like art journal book. So I have discovered that I don't need to use these Project Life cards the way that they were intended to be used, which is in one of those Project Life albums where you put them in pockets. The reason I have so many Project Life things sitting around is because I never really got it. But I've taken a couple album classes with Vicki Boutin. I get it now. I don't have to use these exactly the way they're intended. Now, here's one new thing I do have. I bought some of Vicki Boutin and Heidi Swap's chipboards and labels and, things like that for my scrapbook projects. And I'm kind of excited about those because they're so beautiful. But I bought a few of those, so that's the one new thing I do have, because I didn't really have any of that left in my stash. Most of that has already gotten used in scrapbooks. I have shelves full of finished scrapbooks. So I'm just really going through this and adding ephemera, and I'm taking those, that tag is just a 4x6 Project Life card that I trimmed down and then I clipped off the sides. That was a I don't know what size is that, 3x4 Project Life card. I liked that sentiment in the middle, so I took one of my old hole punches, or circle punches, excuse me, not hole punches, circle punches, and cut that out. I liked that sentiment, so I'm not using the whole card. The rest of the card went in the garbage. I'm not even saving it. So, of course, the first thing in my album has to be my husband's award picture. It was very exciting. And my daughter laughed because I emailed her the picture, and she laughed at his hair in this picture, but he had just filmed himself and pulled the camera over his head, and I didn't notice that his hair was messy. So, it is what it is. So this is another 4x6 card. I loved the sentiment on this. I'm going to make a pocket out of it. I trimmed it down. I trimmed it both edges, both sides, and I'm just putting some 1/8 inch double-sided sticky tape. I'm going to remove that and stick that to the page, and then I've cut down another 4x6 card so that it'll slide into that pocket, and I'll put the picture on it, and I can do some journaling. And if someone wants to look at the journaling, they can pull this out of the pocket, because that won't be adhered to the page. I am going to have to trim that off a touch, but so I'll be using some of these as pockets. I'll be using some of these as flaps. I will be cutting them down, and I will be punching out the sentiments I like, or the parts that I like, and using it in a variety of different ways. So I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I'm making it mine, and I'm using up the stuff on my shelves and in my drawers. I'm not going to waste my money. I'm going to use the stuff. That was why I saved it. I bought it because I liked it. So this project has been perfect for that. I've already made 2 of these, and this one is already almost full. Just so you can see, I really used a lot of things, and I've actually added a lot more since I made this video. So please stop by my blog at stampingofperfection.com. Give this video a like and share with your friends, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and ring the bell to get notifications every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching.